So here we are then for a brand new episode of the F1 2017 modded career mode, driving the McLaren Renault Fantasy 2018 mod for the F1 2017 game. So here we are at Malaysia. Obviously last race we had that engine upgrade and we struggled a lot in qualifying, so I'm wondering whether it's overwritten the mod, so we've got back to Honda engine spec, but I hope not. We'll just have to see whether it's just a one-off of this race, lack of pace, because I do really not like this track. As you can see from the start, I didn't really get to talk about it, but as you can see, taking a replay here, we did get bashed about a little bit at the start there. You can see clipped by the Force India, bouncing off the Renault, and dropping positions left, right and centre. So we're right at the back of the grid, so we've got a bit of a recovery race if we want to stay in with a chance at the World Drivers' Championship and also the Constructors' Championship. As McLaren, we are sort of gaining on the Ferraris and Mercedes, and they're having a lot of DNFs recently, especially the Mercedes, so that's hampering them in the championships, both drivers and constructors. But we sort of got like a last to first race here on our hands. So around Malaysia, a track I really dislike, one I really struggle with, and I've always hated on F1 games, just not my cup of tea. I mean, it's alright on the MotoGP game, but here we are anyway, coming up to the back of Perez. Can we shoot one up the inside into this double right-hander? No, we can't. We're going to have to stick him behind him, but will we be able to formulate a move into the next sector and maybe onto the back straight, and maybe get a chance up the inside here? He's got the outside line, so he's going to get the better traction. If we can squeeze him, we might be able to get ahead. We're alongside him. I'm surprised we managed to keep alongside him for like this long. Around the outside we're going to try and go, but he's got the inside line, so that's never going to work there. Just taking a replay of that, we came up the inside, managed to get decent traction and acceleration to keep alongside, but he had the inside line for the next right-hander, which was obviously means he's going to be able to keep that position because that is the better line to take. But back to the action now. Can we try and move up the inside into this penultimate corner? Quite a hard corner to get traction out of, or especially it was on the older F1 games. It was very hard to get traction, especially like F1 2014. But it's alright in these cars, these have a lot of downforce. But go up to the inside into the final corner now, making it stick up the inside. Job done. Putting the power down. And let's see if we keep ahead of Perez. We should be able to. Pushing on to the back of Palmer now in the Renault on lap number 3. Got to make up as many positions as we can. Up the inside into this double right-hander. Yes, we do. Just up the inside. Very aggressive there. He had to back out. And there we go. Job done. And moving up onto the back of the Haas now. Is it Grosjean, I believe it might be? Again, trying around the inside and outside line, but it's not going to work there for us. But we switch back to the inside line, and we're just not able to carry enough corner speed to keep the move going. And yes, indeed, it is Grosjean onto the end of lap number 4. We're picking up the DRS. He's got DRS as well from the car ahead, but hopefully we've got some decent straight line speed. But again, I'm not sure whether the upgrading the engine has overridden the mod rather than our performance onto the mod, if that makes sense to you. But we'll have to wait and see if it affects us over the next races. But so we'll have to see how the end of this season goes, as now we're picking up some slipstream with some naughty DRS coming up the inside of Grosjean into turn number 1. Very aggressive, bit of contact I think, but we get away with it. He's sticking it around the outside though. We've got the outside line for the next corner, putting the power down, and there we go. He's just forced to the outside. He's hung out to dry completely, and now we're on to the back of Nico Hülkenberg. Which, can we catch up to him and try and get the move done? We've got gained a lot of time through there, so feeling very confident in the car now, starting to find a bit of rhythm. But whoa, look at that, right up onto the back of the Renault car there, and inside line for the next corner, and just double right-hander again like we did on his teammate, up the inside, job done. But I think he's made contact with someone else there as he's hung out to dry, but we'll have to wait and see. I think Hülkenberg actually had to pit because of that. So, coming into the pits then, going to put on some brand new tyres. We're going to go for the soft tyres and put them on. So, back to square one pretty much, back to the back of the grid, but everyone's going to be pitting. So, let's see if we can gain some positions for the pit stages. We've actually get up to the back of Massa and Ricciardo, so the Red Bull and the Williams cars. So, that's pretty good there. Around the outside of Massa, they're making it stick. And he's not going to be able to come back at us. So on lap number 8 then, Daniel Ricciardo is just ahead of us, but we've got some more cars in the pit, so we're going to gauge on them. It looks like we've overtaken Ocon in the Force India as well. But onto the back of Daniel Ricciardo then. He is our next victim and our next car to attack and see if we can overtake. Coming to the start of lap number 9. Can we go for a move up the inside? Yes, we can by the looks of it, but he's going to hold it around the outside. The AI very good round there. But we got the outside line for the next corner, but we're not able to put the power down soon enough. But we're still on the back of him. Can we squeeze through and get the job done on Daniel Ricciardo? Coming up the inside then, side by side through there. He's surely going to get a better traction. We got the outside line, so we're going to be hung out to dry if we're not careful. He's pushing us on the grass. Very nice racing there from the Red Bull AI, but again still behind him. Can we get a move up the inside here? No, we can't. So we'll try again on lap number 10. Coming up the inside to turn 1 with a much better run now with the DRS as well up the inside. Nice simple outbraking manoeuvre and up into P7. So let's see if we catch up to Verstappen, but he seems quite far ahead, so we might just have to settle for 7th place, which indeed we are. Lap number 14 coming round on the final corner to end the race. We're going to be in 7th place, so not a good points haul for the championship, so it's a good opportunity for the Ferraris and Mercedes to catch up. But let's see the standings and the race results. You can see Hamilton, Alonso got 2nd, so there you go. Vettel in 3rd. But there we go, the standings. 33 points ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. Sebastian Vettel sort of dropped off, which meant Raikkonen was leading Ferrari. Yeah, he was quite far behind the championship, but he's catching up. But we're only 28 points off the top. So let's see if we can do it. If Alonso keeps putting in performances like that, then we will indeed. So here we are then at the next race for the season. It is at Japan at the Suzuka circuit. Again, starting from near the back of the grid, had a poor qualifying, but it's really wet here. As you can see, Vettel's off, which is not going to help him in the Constructors' Championship. This is an opportunity for McLaren, although we are sort of at the back of the grid as well, but it's very wet conditions here. I've got a lot of downforce. No, I don't have a lot of downforce, sorry. I have a dry setup on. I didn't realise it was going to be a wet race, so we've got a dry setup in this torrential rain. Look at it, you can barely see a thing. So we just got to build up our confidence, see if we can find some grip, stick to that racing line for the least amount of water, standing water. So lap number 2 coming at the inside of Sainz. Can we make it stick? Get some decent traction, you know, and because we've got a low downforce setup, we should be able to power past these guys pretty easily. Obviously it's not ideal for the corners, but I'll take what I can, and you just can't see a thing. But we're coming at the inside of the Toro Rosso driver there, so we're ahead of both Toro Rossos now, and now again you can't see a thing, but we're coming up to the back of one of the Red Bulls, one of the Aston Martin Red Bull cars, I believe it is. So going through the final chicane, can we maybe mount a move? As you can see, we have actually come out ahead, so we're going to take a replay from the Red Bull driver's point of view. As you can see, we came flying up the inside there. He just, I believe it's Daniel Ricciardo, he just let us through there pretty much. So coming up the inside of Ocon maybe here, we're starting to gain a lot of rhythm and a lot of pace, so we're gaining confidence and we're able to get past these cars. And there we go, at the inside of Ocon, sort of forced our way through there. So it is lap number 5, the rain is lightening up and they're starting to get a line which we can stick to. It's still a wet line, but we're able to stick to it and get better traction through there. Look at that, look how much grip we're managing to find now. This setup is coming into its own, or are we starting to get a bit more confident with the car? But next up is Nico Hulkenberg in the Renault. Can we go around the outside here in the wet conditions? There we go, inside line for the next corner, job done. Hulkenberg's hung out to dry, and he ain't going to dry much in this weather conditions, I'll tell you that. But Felipe Massa is next up. But is the weather going to lighten up? That is the big question we've got to think. Is it going to go to inters or even dries? We have to wait and see. I'm not sure of the forecast. Like I say, the rain caught me off guard as we come on the inside of Massa there at the end of that straight, running wide. Bit of a warning for the track limits, but we get away with it. And let's power on to see if we can catch up to Perez. So lap number 8, we're onto the back of Perez. We're still on the wet tyres, but are we going to be switching soon? The rain seems to have lightened up, but I don't think it's inters conditions yet. And there we go up the inside. And next up is Fernando Alonso, our teammate. He's a bit far ahead though, so let's see if we're able to catch up. But we are putting in quick laps, and it's definitely drying up because we're getting quicker. and there is more grip out there. So Rich Mix, lap number 11, fastest, well lap number 10, fastest lap of the race, catching up to Fernando Alonso. We're the fastest car out on track, and again on the next lap we go fastest lap again, 7.5 seconds to Alonso, so we've got a lot of ground to make up with 2 laps, so I don't think we're going to be able to get it, but let's see if we can get more fastest laps from this race. This indeed we do. Going on to the final lap, our fastest lap of the fastest lap, it's 6.3 seconds, we gain about 1.2 seconds a lap on our teammate, but it's just not going to be enough, is it? Not enough time left in this race, but we stayed full wet for this race, so there we go. Gonna come home in 5th, Alonso 4th, but if Vettel's all the way back out the points, that could be good for the Constructors' Championship. So let's see the crucial race results. But there we go, 4th and 5th, and Raikkonen 2nd, so Vettel down in 14th, so that's pretty bad for the drivers there of Ferrari. So you can see we're running 25 points behind them in the... Oh no, that's Kimi Raikkonen, the driver's standings, my bad. But he's 25 points behind, he's caught up a bit, but he's still at a decent distance away to not threaten. So there we are, 24 points behind in the Constructors. So I hope you did enjoy, and we will see you in the next one.